Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. And that is a quote by someone I haven't figured out who said it, but they're a genius. I'm super excited to have you join again or for the first time this podcast. If you aren't watching the videos, it's awesome to see the faces of my guests. If you have been watching the videos, it's also cool to listen on your earbuds or when you're driving or just when you're sitting around having coffee. So, lots of places to enjoy this show. And also, if you go to lucydumascoaching.com, Lucy with an I, that's the place to find out more about what I'm up to. All right. So, my guests today, Gregory and Lesa Daniel, are internationally recognized for their artistry. Gregory has the utmost privilege of living his passion every day alongside Lesa, operating their two photography galleries both in Indialantic and Titusville, Florida. And Gregory has achieved, and if you're not in the PPA ASP world, you may not know what a big deal all of this is. But he's a master of photography and the American Society of Photographers Fellowship. Now, that's a way big deal. He was one of the youngest members to be inducted into the prestigious Camera Craftsmen of America quite a while ago. And that's only maybe, is it 50 people? How many?
40.
40 active.
40. Yep. Does somebody have to like
Yes.
kick the bucket? Okay. Well, hopefully everyone will be staying with us and and such. In fact, they just had their annual meeting here in San Diego, so I hope we showed them a good time.
You did.
He also was the past president of the Professional Photographers of America, and he founded the International Society of Portrait Artists, ISPA. Phew.
Wow.
And Lisa
More than
is his uh, support for the
Yes.
studio. I'm not sure she does all the hard parts and he gets the fun of photographing or how you balance that, but we're going to talk about that more. So, thank you guys for being on my show today.
finally
Yeah.
we did it. We made it.
Finally. Yeah, we saw each other at the convention in outside of Dallas. And I wasn't even sure that he knew or they knew about my show. And they're like, of course we know about this show. I
Yes.
was like,
Absolutely.
Yes.
well,
Everybody knows
maybe
about you.
here in my little house in San Diego, you just never know. So thank you.
Your little bungalow, right?
Yep, yep. It's actually too big for a person that is semi-retired now. Um, but it's still got like uh, photos in the garage and those beautiful hand gilded corners. Um, the I can't throw those away because do you know the ones that I can't remember the Hussar and people like that. They're,
Who saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, there's still evidence around here. I'm a photographer.
Oh, good.
Okay, I want to ask just a little cliff notes about how you got started in photography. I think you have a fun little story that I spied with my little eye
You
on
did.
your website.
You did. I don't have to get into too much detail, but I mean, it all started when I was 12 years old, and I took a photography class in my junior high school, and my instructor at the time, he gave us an assignment to go photograph just take pictures to learn how to develop film. And and I did. I went out and took photographs of a whole bunch of things, tires and buildings and rocks and water. And then I ran across this old gentleman that had his whole life, all over his body. It was just his veins were. He just looked like he had really lived a really difficult life in a very difficult part of town. Very um, uh, just a just a really inner city part of the town. It was really a bad section. He's out on his porch and he gave me permission to photograph him. And I took it back and I developed it. And as I was developing it for the very first time, my instructor leaned over and he said, "You have a gift."
Mm.
Uh, he breathed life into me, and it was something that as a 12-year-old, you don't know those words that can just grab you and take you and breathe that life into you. And our teachers do it. Our teachers have that ability to do it. You have that ability to do it. Anybody has that ability to do it, to breathe life into another individual. And I'm so forever grateful that he did that. And I've been creating art ever since. And
Mm.
it's just a wonderful thing. Whether I had the gift at the moment or not,
Yeah,
he made me feel it. He believed in me. Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
And that was
I love,
so critically important. So
yeah, yeah. So,
started the studio when I was 19. And
wow,
mhm.
that's why 1991, uh, what happened in 1991? You
Oh,
became
that,
camera craftsman.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah, that was
yes,
So
camera.
you were young.
Yes.
yes.
Yes. So, you remember Victor Avila, I
Yes.
imagine.
Yes.
He's was a San Diego guy, and everybody, when I started in photography, I knew of him. I knew he was, the top of the food chain here. Um, and I did my first bridal show, and he walked by and he stood there and he looked at my work and he looked at me and he looked at my work and he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Lucy Dumas." And he said, "I'm shocked that I've never heard of you because if you're doing work like this, I really should have heard of you."
Oh,
And
very
that was that same,
same
Yeah, they
thing.
did it for you, didn't they?
oh, oh, because there were like 38 um, photography studios at that show.
Wow.
And I booked some good clients, and the rest is history of my career. But yeah, I love, just giving a acknowledgement to how some words people won't even know they said
Exactly.
sometimes.
Well, your
And
work is so beautiful. I mean, your work is very, very lifestyle. It has a beautiful brand to it. I mean, you look at all your images as a body, they just all speak as one. It's really a beautiful thing.
well, thank you. See, that's the kind of thing now I'm gonna ride that for a long time, forever. And I know you mean it.
Oh,
So
I do mean it. I
yeah,
truly, truly mean it. It's
thank
beautiful.
you.
Your work is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you. Um, so how did you two, or when did you two get
Yeah.
together? Not how, I know,
But
boy meets girl, stuff like
we
that.
went to we went to school together, but we really didn't know each other. She was a class above me in so many different ways.
No, that's not true.
That's right.
I'm a grade above him.
Yeah, she was a class
I'm a
and a
year.
class, couple of classes above me. But yeah,
Uh,
she was the ballerina.
maybe she's that much classier than
She
you.
is. She
But
is.
one year,
She was she, she pulled me out of the woods.
Oh,
And yeah, but she was a ballerina and I was the high school photographer, so I
Mm,
would photograph her from afar, not in a weird way. I was supposed to photograph her,
right.
but we never really talked at all. We really never had much communication, but she was in all the clubs and things, and I would photograph the clubs. And then uh, when I was 19, I started my photography studio. She was off to college becoming a ballerina
yeah.
at Florida State. And I was working at the space shuttle, working on the space shuttle at the same time. So I'd started my business and I was working on the space shuttle. And she needed a summer job. So she came in, she got a job at the Space Center and bonding tile on the space shuttle. I was over a tile bonding crew at the time. And when she came in, I looked and I went, oh my gosh, there
There
she is.
she is.
And 2 weeks later, we were engaged.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now
and
it's
it
been
worked out.
43 years.
Or
Wow. Wow.
Or in
44. Yeah.
August.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about some of the juicy topics that we, you know, came up with places to jump off. But make sure everybody stay tuned because I also want to talk about with Lisa and Gregory, the challenges and joys of working with your spouse. Because I think that's a very unique, I have to say, in San Diego, There are several photography studios where it was spouses and then they divorced and they each had their
Oh,
own studio and
oh.
such. So anyway, so we're going to get into that in a bit. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Um, what I'd love to talk about first is something that you do that's commissioned mixed media portraits.
Mhm.
Um, and it all connects. So first of all, what is that? And Um, yeah, I don't know. I'll stop babbling.
Yeah.
Please care to share?
Well, most of it came from, we started off as mainly wedding photographers, and we did everything. I mean, we were the local photographer that photographed, soccer teams, little leagues, weddings, things like that. And very early on, we got into the wedding world over in Winter Park, which was a very high end.
It's in Orlando, in
It's
the
in Orlando.
Orlando area.
Right.
Mhm.
And so we were really pulled into that world because of some awards I won doing the weddings, and we became known very quickly as a higher end wedding photographer. And so because we got pulled into that world um, from a place that kind of we became part of a team that did all the really, really big weddings. So they helped us understand the higher end market and what that
Mm,
brand looked like. And so it gave us a lot of experience
Mhm.
with that brand level. But after we had children, it was very difficult to have that model of a business. And
mhm.
so at that same time, uh, I ran into, I walked into a gallery and I gave myself permission to like find a different business model that we could do. And so when I did that, I found it in San Francisco. I walked into this gallery and um, it was this it was this artist, this painting artist that painted realistically ballerinas. And it was
Mm.
just
With oils.
with oils. Yeah. It was just stunning.
They were beautiful.
And just the whole artist gallery feel, I just fell in total love with at the time. And that was the time when digital just came out. So it was the early 90s.
Mm.
And I, uh, I saw this art piece that was $80,000. And I thought, wow, that's pretty pricey.
Yeah.
And but there was one just exactly like it next to it that was $8,000. And I asked the person to come over and tell me about it. And they said, "Oh, this is how the artist is able to reproduce their art these days. It's called an embellished reproduction. They start with Photoshop, this brand new thing called Photoshop, and they
Hmm.
scan the image in, and then they output it to Giclée, and then they embellish it
Giclée.
here's Giclée with, then they embellish it with acrylics and oils, and then they sign, and that's called a reproduction, an embellished reproduction. And
Where
I,
they used to have only, what would they call them, lithographs? Is
yeah,
that what they were called? So they weren't on canvas. They didn't have that same feel that they do now.
Right. Right.
yeah. So I looked at Lisa and I went, I can I could create this kind of look, this feel, this brand, this artist gallery thing in our world.
Mm.
And so I fused those two together and started that journey and that path. And so the mixed media is something that we call our products because we really designed our business model is designed around being an artist gallery business model, which is commissioned work. And so we're pretty much under that whole world of artist gallery kind of model, bringing in clients that want to commission us to create these pieces, which are mixed medias for their beautiful homes.
So
I love
now
it.
we do ours are, we call them mixed medias because for one, they start with photography. And then from there, they go into the digital world. From there, they go on to canvas. And then he puts acrylics and water mixable oils on top. So there are a number of different mediums that he uses to
Hmm.
create this piece. So in the art world, they call that when they have a number of different types of systems that they put together. They call that a mixed media.
Mm.
Consequently, are mixed media as well. So that's where we came up with that name.
I love it. So are you doing the oils yourself or
All of it from start to finish.
ah,
We do everything.
okay. All right.
Stretch it, paint it.
He says we. I
I-
don't photograph and I don't paint, but I'm a really good critic.
Yes.
And so I can tell him if I like it or if I don't like it, and if he needs to change
Yeah,
something, and
yeah,
hopefully another set of eyes is helpful.
yeah, yeah. I love your story and that you had the like literally little light bulb go off in your head. Um, I'm sure you knew Phil Terrace,
Absolutely. No,
Mr.
very,
Terrace.
Yes.
Mr. Cherish, yes, very well.
Guess who did my high school yearbook?
No kidding.
See.
Wow.
And so if people don't know Philip Cheris, who passed maybe 10 years ago,
Yeah,
some
Right.
yeah, right.
time goes, but I have a feeling he walked into the Huntington Gallery. His brand was beautiful canvas and then hand uh, retouched and oiled and layers of lacquer and gilded frames and
Yes.
beautiful rich studio. And I have a feeling he was at the Huntington Library, which is this beautiful estate, photographing cheerleaders on the lawn or something, because that's what we would do is
Yeah.
go there. And walked in the gallery and saw like Pinky and Blue Boy and uh, Singer Sargent paintings and had a similar kind of
Yes.
light bulb
Yes.
Yes.
experience.
Yeah,
So yeah, and then he totally rebranded
right.
himself. When I was yearbook editor, I didn't get to work with his company because he had raised his prices, and so we had this. I was so disappointed in the studio that we
Mm.
worked with. I won't name their name.
Okay.
My helper and I used to say, when you think of quality, think of blank, and then wish you had it. So yeah, and anyway, I love that story that we can keep reinventing
Absolutely.
ourselves.
Yeah. Hmm.
So my question is that what you do, or can someone come in and want a series of portraits that's going to be more photographic and not have the embellishing, or is that primarily the thing
Well,
it
yes, they
comes for?
can, but we don't market any of that. All that we market is strictly our embellished pieces that are, the mixed media pieces. That's what we show. That's what we're known for. That's our flagship. But yes, we do other things that are other pieces that are strictly photographic.
Very few.
But not, yes, but not a lot, because that's not what
Right.
we show.
Right.
You sell what you show. And so we show the mixed media embellished pieces.
I love it. I
Mhm.
love it. I'm often encouraging friends and my coaching clients to pick a lane. And some people will be like, oh, I want to do everything. But I think when you focus on something, sure, you can take that other assignment, but
Yeah,
everything, um, everything takes work. So if you're going to do weddings and embellished portraits, it's basically, in my opinion, two jobs with
right.
twice as much work. Thoughts on that?
Well, it also confuses your client. They they don't know who you are, and you want to have your lane. Well, what we say is picking a brand level. First of all, if you pick a brand, like if you go to a restaurant, there are three main levels. One is McDonald's. There's not a thing wrong with McDonald's as far as their business model is concerned. They
Right?
make a lot of money. Then there's the second level, and I'll use a restaurant that I think most people know, and that's Olive Garden.
Hmm.
In the middle market, you'll go there a couple times a month if that's something that you're looking to do, but it's not super inexpensive like McDonald's, and it's also not real expensive that you're going to save and save and save and go there on your 10th anniversary. But then there's the higher end restaurant. For instance, we call it a fine French restaurant, but it could be, any kind, but a fine French restaurant that is not a brand, it's a specialty. It's got this fabulous chef, and you go there once every 5 years or so to celebrate.
Hmm. Right.
Those are the three brand levels that we're thinking. And so we picked our brand level being the fine French restaurant And I'm sure at the Fine French restaurant, if you want a bowl of vanilla ice cream, you can get it.
Hmm.
But do they market that? No, they don't. And
Right.
so that's what we do. We are the Fine French restaurant in our area. Can we do something that is a headshot if somebody needs it? Sure, but we don't want that to be who we are known for. And so if we did weddings, the way we like to do things is to just do it to the very best of our ability. So
Hmm.
if we put all of our time and effort into a wedding and then put all of our time and effort into an embellished mixed media, something would have to give.
Right.
Our clients, when they're looking at us, wouldn't know, are you French restaurant or are you an Italian restaurant? What are you?
Right. Right.
And so we chose, because we didn't want to be working on the weekends any longer, we chose the embellished mixed media pieces. And so that's who we are and that's what we
Got
do.
it. Yeah. I think of it that what you were kind of hinting at made me think of going to the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
hungry. You got hungry.
No, I'm not going there, but the menu there
It's
Oh yeah.
it's
incredible.
so
Oh,
many things. And if you ask the waiter, well, what do you recommend? They mostly say, oh, it's all good. But I think it's all warmed up and pre-cooked is
of course.
I
my
agree.
feeling. And you started somewhere. We all start somewhere, and you did the weddings and the other things, and there was nothing wrong with that. You were enjoying life, making a living
Yes.
till you had this just next step up. I did weddings for 12 years and it was about 2 years too long. And then switched to children before little baby newborn photography was a whole industry. Because there weren't very many, like Victor Avila, if I was already
Yes.
mentioned him. He said he thought that a good portrait of a baby was pure luck. But I was every kid's Aunt Lucy. So, I knew how to prepare. I knew the ages and stuff.
Sure.
Okay, it's not about me today, but it's just fun to chat.
Well, it should
Anyway,
be. It
but
should be
I,
about, it's both of us. It's conversation.
yeah, but I think people can build what works for them. And we all start somewhere. And oh my gosh, doing a little bit of everything uh, in my book does, it's like boot camp in a
Yes.
way.
And
So
a
that
lot of it
then,
teaches you how to handle certain situations and also what you like and what you don't like.
We call it toolbox training.
oh,
You really need to understand how your tools work and build your toolbox. And then once you get it all built and full, maybe you need to reassess what you're building, and then go out and figure out what you want to build and then use the tools that you've created in your
yeah,
toolbox you know how to
yeah.
use.
And
But
then
initially, toolbox training is a critical part of this whole process of being a really great photographer,
mhm.
an image maker.
And we often credit the over 600 weddings that we did
Yeah,
in our day as great training
it's
Oh,
incredible.
for everything that we do now, because there's really not a situation that we're given that we can't figure out something. Because at a wedding, you have to.
Right.
You have no option. You have to.
Yeah.
right, right,
So, it's given us a lot of abilities to, I think on our feet.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So do you do location photography? Is it mostly studio? What kinds of things are you?
Most of our work is on location.
Hmm.
We do some studio. Things interesting that recently
More and more
we're
studio.
getting more and more studio because we're like the only studio.
Hmm.
It's very different looking than anyone else at the moment. At the time, we were doing, well, we do very large pieces. I mean, some of them are 16 feet. I mean, they're very, very large pieces of mixed media. We design these pieces to go in these homes, and there's a lot of very large vaulted spaces
Hmm.
in Florida.
Mhm.
And so some of these walls are really large. Some of these pieces that we create and design for these homes are a good size. So a lot of it lends itself to environmental work because we can create an environmental, incredible pictorial piece, and someone walks in and goes, "Wow, this is an incredible piece of art. Oh my goodness, you're in it." You know, so
Right.
uh,
That,
it it is a beautiful thing to be able to create it that way. We have done very large pieces in the studio as well, but they do seem to be a little bit difficult to be that big. You
right.
know, to go, 16 feet in the studio is pretty big.
Right. Right. So,
But we love working in the studio as
We
well.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
we just did it this morning. So
Yeah, if I could have my career all over again, I would have had more courage to get an actual studio space instead of the apartment above my garage.
mhm.
But I love the commute.
Yeah, there's a
But
lot
the
to be said for
but it
that.
was so small that it was hard to love studio. I A friend of mine had her studio in an empty two-car garage, and her I helped train her on lights and everything. And I was like a kid in a candy store, and I thought, oh, I thought I didn't love studio, but yeah, that's, you do your career the way you do it. And um, anywho, I could have had a little more courage in the world. Okay, there's a couple of topics on this, and I don't want to run out of time. So you selling products for a purpose or with a purpose?
Yeah, so
What do you mean by that?
you could circle back around to the whole cheesecake factory thing. That menu is enormous, and when we mentor and coach photographers these days, it seems like every one of them has this cheesecake factory book of
Price sheet.
price sheets.
Right.
All these things that they offer, but we're completely different from that. We created products for just specific purposes only. So our mixed media piece is for the wow wall, the very large wall, the powerful wall that you walk into someone's home, and it's typically spot lit, and it's this gorgeous mixed media piece. And so that's a product that we created for that particular purpose, right?
Okay.
And then we have a product for a transitional wall, maybe a wall that takes you from one place to another between a door and a window, things like that.
It's smaller.
It's smaller and it's much more, it's a smaller art piece. Maybe it's a floating piece of art on art paper, things like that. So it's a very crafted art piece that's created just for that space.
Hmm.
And then we create uh, places, you have places on a desktop, and we have purposeful products for that.
Right.
And we have a legacy album, which is an album that we can offer as well. So it's just a handful of products. That's it.
Yeah, I
Don't
love that.
compete with each other.
Same. I used to call uh, some of the things that people were offering and ordering trinkets, you know,
Oh yeah,
fold out w mini wallet things
right,
and jewelry and uh,
right.
I don't want things to get buried under a stack of papers and oh yeah, I wonder where that little thing was. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're in alignment on that. All right. So
And,
big
and
controversy selling the product and not the experience. So
oh yeah.
many times on the show, and I'm sure you give people an incredible experience. But we've talked about, the experience is key. So what do you mean about the
Well,
opposite?
you and I have been in this industry for a very long time, and we see trends come and go and come and go, right?
Mhm.
And and I see this pendulum swing back and forth, and the pendulum had swung all the way over to the experience side, to the
Mm,
point that the product had disappeared. And
ah,
it was all about the experience. To create this experience, you must have this and that and the other. And I call it the raft ride. I mean, right now we've
craft,
been,
right?
yeah, we're all creating raft rides where like if you were to do a raft ride, it's all about that experience of going down the mountain in the raft, and experiencing that whole
Right in
thing.
your face,
Yeah,
and
the
your heart
rapids.
will race. And
Right. And then
Yeah.
at the very end, you raise your hands and there's somebody on a rock taking a picture of you. And then
Mhm.
they try to sell you the commemorative 5x7 at the end, and
Yes.
they hope you buy one of those.
Hmm.
That's what our industry has turned into, a big, gigantic
Hmm.
raft where
You
they
do all this work and you have everybody, all your clients all dolled up and ready to go, and you hope that somebody's going to buy something, and you show them the images at the end and you hope they're going to buy it.
which they never realized they were supposed to buy anyway, because you didn't advertise that. You weren't
Right.
known for that. You're known for the raft ride.
Right.
If you're known for a raft ride and you're just hoping you're going to sell something at the end, you should price the raft ride. I mean, if that's what you're going to sell is the raft ride, you
Right.
got to price the raft ride. But they're
Right.
not. They're not pricing that. They're not getting money for the raft ride, right? Disney, you walk through the gate, it's going to cost you to walk through the gate. I mean,
Mhm.
An experience and their pricing to do so.
but we're known for a product. We're known for a product, and we wrap it with an incredible experience.
Ah,
But the product is what they come for. They commissioned us to come in and create this and design this piece for them, like an interior designer would come in and create and design maybe a whole, a kitchen for you or whatever they're going to do for you. You've commissioned them to come in and create this thing for you, right? And it better be done well, and it better be done with an incredible experience, or they're not going to get referred to the next person to do their work for them.
got it.
So that's how we work. When they come to us, we're creating and designing a piece for them, and it better be wrapped in a phenomenal experience, which is what we do. But they don't come to us just for the experience
Yeah. Hair
and
and
not know what they're
makeup,
going to.
champagne,
Mhm.
chocolates, the perfect. I mean, yeah, I get it. I get it. All
Yeah.
right. So the other little thing is, what do you mean by context is everything?
Well,
Give me
context is,
some, Jeff. I mean,
yeah.
Greg, give me some context on that.
mo- So, I mean, I think Instagram, for example, or Facebook has just destroyed, for photographers, it seems, has destroyed the whole context issue. Because if most photographers these days, you ask them, show me your work, show me what you do, and they're going to take you to Instagram, or they're going to take you to a website where it's a gallery of images.
And it's
And it's
just
just
images.
images. It's just photography. And so if you look at just photography and photographers and you just toss them all out on the floor, you can't tell the difference between, a client can't tell one from the other. They can't tell a great photographer from a not great. They can't tell what brand they're in. You can't tell the brand experience. You can't tell where you are from a brand perspective.
Mhm.
Are you a fine French restaurant? Are you an Olive Garden? Are you
Do you
are
just
you
sell your digitals?
McDonald's? So,
Right.
yeah, are you just a digital photographer? You cannot tell the product, you can't tell the brand, and you can't tell the quality just by looking at a photograph on Instagram, or an image, I should say, on Instagram. You can't tell that. But if you see me, which if you follow me at all, you might see me walking into these beautiful homes with a very large portrait behind me.
Okay.
And if you're seeing me carry one of these in, you don't even have to see the portrait. You see context.
You know that it's
You know
upscale.
that it's upscale. You know the brand level. You know what I'm doing. You know what's on that piece of canvas. You don't even have to see it. I don't have to show you the image.
Right.
You know what you're getting
I love that.
just by doing that. If you look at
Or
BMW, the way that they sell a car, I mean, they are showing the product, but they're giving it in context of an incredible experience of the drive.
Mm,
Right? But it's about they're selling cars. It's very obvious they're going to sell you a car, but they're not just selling you the experience, right? So
right.
it's all becomes context.
Right. Right.
we have a portrait hanging in someone's home, and it's in a very beautiful living room. It's very tall, very, very thin. That gives the context that we do large pieces, as opposed to
Mhm.
just seeing that image by itself, not in somebody's living room, not knowing, is that a 5 by 10 or is
Right.
that a 5 foot by
Right.
10 foot?
Right.
Right. Right.
You don't know. So the context of where it will live makes a big difference.
Right. Right.
And I don't see context in our industry much.
Yeah. but I do see it. Well, I see it a lot with the people I get to interview for my show. Um, and the teachers at national conventions and people like you two teach at what Texas School
Texas school, yeah.
Week. Right now, California's West Coast School is going on up near Magic Mountain.
Mhm.
And so there's opportunities for people to learn from people like you that have been around the block a few times and perfected what you do, and also love to share that with people. So, if people are thinking, oh my gosh, I love the two of them, how can I hang out with them? Or, is it April that's Texas school?
Yes,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
April.
Yeah. Along with, it's like going to summer camp,
It is.
uh, but with photographers. So you have your small group and then
It is.
parties and food and get-togethers and conversations and all that. And that's what I love about this industry. I don't know. I could go
Community.
on and
It
on.
is about the community, isn't it?
Absolutely. All right. So the community of two who are running a business,
Yes.
uh, which is you two. Tell me a little about some of the tips and challenges being partners in a photography business and married and married.
Being married and staying married.
Well,
Yes.
Liz thinks that she doesn't do the photography because
Here's why. And people ask me if I photograph, and I don't photograph. And here is why. Because this is our marriage in a nutshell.
Here we go.
If I did do the photography,
Uh-huh.
I would be so much better at
Yeah.
it than Greg.
Okay.
And it would hurt him terribly.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I don't do it.
There it
I
is.
don't
There it is.
to hurt him.
There it is.
But in all honesty, our jobs are very, very different.
Mm.
I am the people person. I am the salesperson. I am the constant face of our business with our clients. I am with them at every step of the way. Greg shows up. He's the artist. He photographs them. He will deliver and hang. And those may be the only two times they ever see him. But I think as far as working together, keeping our jobs very different, but yet depending on one another for feedback and understanding that if there's feedback, like, do you think I did this right? And if he says no, it's not that he doesn't like Lesa. He doesn't like what Lesa did.
Mm.
He's helping me figure it out, as opposed to we're still working on that theory with him, though, because he'll say, Lesa, come over here and look at this image and tell me if you think it's ready for me to finish the painting. And I may say, well, no, I don't like this, this, and this. And he thinks I don't like him.
Who gets
But
sad?
not him.
Sounds like we've been through therapy or
Yeah.
something.
People tell me that.
But from my point of view, and you may have a terribly different point of view, I just think our jobs being very different makes it work really well because we're not competing.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely. And we love each other, so that
There's
helps.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It does help.
So what I'm hearing and imagining, first of all, there's not like one of you is the boss and the other's treated like a worker, that there's a, like, the word partnership means mutual respect, mutual power, designated um, things that you do. So he doesn't, well, he'll give you feedback. He doesn't try to do your job. You'll give him feedback, but you don't try to really tell him how to photograph. Am I kind of right on that assessment?
Yes,
is-
that's very correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
we both have all of our jobs are completely separated. I mean, if she's in the order appointment or design appointment or any of that, then I'm typically not there. And if I was, I would just get in the way. There is no,
Yeah.
she does everything incredibly well, and I would just mess it up if I got in the middle of it.
To respect each other
Together
in
as a
what you're doing.
team and husband and wife, we respect what the other person does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I could never do literal. I mean, I joke and say I would be better than him, but I wouldn't. I could never do what he does. and do it well. He could never do what I do and do it well.
No.
And we
Right.
know that.
Yeah, we know
and,
that.
and we speak that often to each other. So I think that's a huge thing too, is just appreciate the other's talents and use those talents to the best of their ability. And not try to be competitive with them.
Right.
But I
So,
did, I am the CEO of basically the company. So I design, I'm very much a process management kind of person. And so I've designed the studio and the gallery and all of the context around it. And then, and, and we all have our own positions that we do. So
mhm,
it, it is it's a very well-oiled machine.
And very well thought out.
Yeah.
It, it didn't happen by
No,
accident.
it did
It's
none
very,
of
very
this.
well thought
All
out.
this is done through processes and
right. And you've been, I'm sure, in tons of other successful photographers classes and
yeah.
workshops and conventions. And like I went to Ken Whitmire's wall portrait conference, uh, which I was already, you know, 30 years into the business when I said, I better go to that because he's 80 and he may not be around for a while
Yeah.
and such. But you didn't learn this in a vacuum, I
No,
imagine.
No,
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 I
no.
love that.
he was a
Yeah.
Yeah.
genius. My mentor was Tom McDonald, and Tom McDonald,
Oh, I
he held my
love,
hand from
Yeah.
since at the very beginning. I mean, I met him when I was 21,
Yeah, he was a great mentor, coach, and
my entire life.
he guided you all the
Mhm.
way through. Every time we were ready to make another decision, he would say yes or no and that
Yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah.
which gratefully, Greg is now able to do for others.
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah,
So I got tears in my eyes when you talk about Tom.
yeah.
Here's one of the really hard things about being successful in this business for a long time is we watch people that we love, that we've learned from,
Mhm.
pass away.
Yes,
But then we get to be them. And
yes.
someday they'll be maybe crying a little over us.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
yeah, he just Tom and his wife, I took a week of West Coast school with them, and they're just like, you're just family.
Yeah.
You get connected with them. Yeah, I got you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ken, oh my God, that
He was
soul
a
of a
father.
man, Ken Whitmire. And this has been such a joy talking to the two of you. I love how you're also able to, yeah, I gotta, whew, uh, like you're not talking over each other. One of you is not like, sometimes when I've interviewed a couple, I have to purposely pull one of them into the conversation. But I love how you're both, you know, like you can finish each other's sentences, but you don't talk over each other. And I'm sure that is something that as you matured as human beings and partners, you continued to do. I don't know.
Good trainer. She trained me.
Trainer. Yes. Yes. All right. Two questions.
Yes.
So number one, I know you have an offer.
Mm.
Um, so what is that? How would people take advantage of you to get the offer?
Yeah, I would say so we teach every year at Texas school, and occasionally we'll do some state and local conventions, things like that. And imaging, sometimes we speak at imaging, but we we have a collection of emails. And so whenever we're getting ready to do a class or a workshop, like we do workshops here in Titusville, this is the studio where we do all the production, and all my painting I do here. So the embellishment work on portraits I do here. So I offer an embellishing class a couple times a year. I thought it was going to be one time a year.
This year
This year we did four of
we
them.
have our
Yeah.
fourth one in August
Yeah.
still.
Hmm.
So as we get ready to do it and we get demand wanting to come in and do the class, we put people on our mailing list. We let everybody know that a class is getting ready to come up. So if you went to if just email me, Greg Daniel
Greg
Daniel at CFL as in centralflorida.rr, as in roadrunner.com, or just go to our website and send me a message, however you want to do it. Give me your email and I'll put you on our email list. And if you come to one of the workshops, just mention Lucy's name and we'll give you a bonus hour of mentoring after the workshop. So we do also offer coaching, and we also, we have mentoring that we offer any of our students, and we also do that. So you could do that if you just
Great.
give us your
So,
email.
so if someone's just like, I can't wait for anything, I need to get support from these two wonderful people, then there is one-on-one mentoring available and they
Yes.
just
Yes, it's
find
one-on-one.
you
It's
guys.
one-on-one. Yeah, it's one-on-one.
One-on-one.
Great. So you're available.
Mhm.
All right. So last question, and I think I'd like each of you to
Uh-oh.
finish, wrap it up. So it's an opportunity to either share something that you think, oh, I wish I had mentioned that, or just your final thought about this conversation or anything. So let's start with Lesa.
I think in this industry, and I think in the arts in general, I find people are often doubting themselves and doubting their worth and being able to do something. And I think that if you just decide, I'm not going to listen to that voice, I'm
Mm,
going to go ahead and do it. I am worth something. We all are. See, I'm going to cry.
Oh,
mm.
you got you going. You should turn the faucet on.
Yeah, yeah,
Turn the faucet
me
on.
too. I'll join you in it.
Right.
So,
Well, yeah.
did you finish? So,
Yeah, you're worth it.
Yeah.
yes. All right. And Mr. Daniel.
Well, I always end my classes with this, that kind of what we started with, that all of us have the opportunity to breathe life into someone. Every one of us, every day, every moment. It doesn't matter if you're wealthy or if you're incredibly poor. It doesn't matter where you are on the social ladder. It doesn't matter where you are physically. You have the ability to breathe life into another individual.
Mhm.
And it could mean the world to somebody. It could be that you pick a child, and that you're breathing life into that child. You have no idea the impact that you can have on someone else's life, just by the kindness and the beauty and the words that can come from your heart. So that is what I I lead with every single day, and I end up with that every single day.
Mm.
Mhm.
Whew. Too bad you guys are not deep or anything. I love that. I love that. And yeah, you and I, we're all examples of somebody breathing life into us with just a simple word. Just a
Mhm.
simple word. I love. And yes, absolutely. I know, Lisa, I have that same heart for wanting people to know they can do this. They're worth it. They
They're
deserve
worth
the life of their dreams.
it.
So, well, gosh, I hate to go. We could come up with things to cry about.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting to do that.
I I get that. I do a strategy session complimentary for people. In fact, last week's episode was kind of a little do it yourself, and there's moments in that conversation where so often people are crying and it's like, I did not expect this, but this is such a personal and wonderful career
It
that
is. Mhm.
gives you the opportunity to grow and heal and serve the world and learn and make a face plant and get up and ski down the brown mountain again and maybe learn how not to cross your tips the next time. And I know that you guys are such a big contribution to this whole world that we're in. And yeah, so thank you. Everyone stay tuned for my quick wrap up. And Lisa and Greg, it's just been a joy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh gosh, I hated to let them go. Didn't you just love the Daniels? I can see why everybody always talks about them so fondly. Uh, so let's see. Little quick wrap up. Um, so when you're working with a spouse or any partner, if that's something that you want to do, maybe even if you're hiring what I call a work wife, um, their tips are to have the roles clearly defined and to respect each other and help each other, but not have one person uh, kind of over the other being the boss, really looking at partnership. We talked a lot about the commissioned mixed media portrait business model. And what they've done is they have limited what they do to what they want to sell and what they're passionate about and what can make them the income that they desire and need. So we talked about how finding a specialty and putting all of that branding and all of that effort into it can reap benefits. Even if your specialty is to be a full service studio, that's a specialty. Um, so being intentional about that, I think, is what I got from that. Um, Being intentional about the products that you're going to sell and how they're used. Uh, Selling the product and not the experience. Unless the experience is going to be something you charge really well just for the experience, they recommend being product focused. And when they say context is everything, they mean what, how is this going to be used? What are the products? Uh, and where are they going to be displayed? Uh, like, think when I did weddings, so this is a little thing I'd like to bring back is to me, when I photographed a wedding, the goal was a book. Some wall portraits are great. I would bonus a wall portrait in one of my packages. And, having the digital files be the product in a wedding or any other session, uh, might want to think about that because in context, digital files end up in digital media. And anywho, so that's it for now. I love you all around the world and next door. And I hope I hear from you. Please get in touch. Bye for now.